Hey, Bri, doesn't it suck that the boss is always over our shoulder when we're trying to talk?
Jay, he should be entertained by us. Let's get out of here and finish this conversation.
All right, as long as it's not work-related.
Jay!
B.
How's it going?
B, I am good, buddy.
I want to welcome everyone to the Work-Related Podcast.
We are that related by work on
X.
Twitter.
Yes.
I don't even know. I can't get you on nothing. Abandoned on Twitter. I've actually been scrolling it a little bit more than
Changing
I
the
was
algorithm?
Before. Yeah, I think I'm back into whatever. Let's see. I complained about however long ago that I was in like a shooting thing. I'm not in the cute animals algorithm anymore. No, I've been diving into the world is on fire algorithm again. Part of it was with some of the soccer shit that's going on, just seeing like some soccer Twitter stuff, like the fight in the stands with the Colombians, like you see all that, and just other random shit. So no, I've kind of been just living off the For You feed, not even the following. I got to go into the following to get the cute animal stories.
Yeah, you got to find them.
But you know what? The For You is really what my fucking brain wants to see. I think
so. It knows.
Right? Like
It
I'm
knows.
not discounting how good the algorithm is, or I'm not even putting intention on the algorithm. I'm just saying it's got me.
Yeah, mine has been showing me, other than my Twitter porn, it's been showing me like
X.
shit. It's been showing me XXX deaths of people, like security video cameras.
Like what kind of
Random shit, like people getting run over by, like one guy got his head crushed by a bus.
No.
Somebody falling.
I don't
off
even
a
want. I'm
building.
gonna cover my phone's ears. I don't want my phone to hear this.
Right? Someone fell off a building and just splat, bounced off.
And you saw the whole thing.
You see the whole thing.
Don't even put that in my head.
Oh my goodness, it's terrible, but like you can't, like I keep.
No, I get it,
when
bro.
you scroll down, but you scroll up a little bit, see the little preview, and then you just like get it to the center of the screen. I'm like, fuck, man.
So
why do I keep watching this?
Yeah, I mean, I'm going to be able to easily turn my like scroll right if it's like an animal about to get hurt.
Yeah.
If it's a human, I'm like just like you.
Yeah,
Like
it's
I'm bullshitting. Like I'm like as much as I just don't want to put that in my head, and I haven't seen it. I've only really ever seen the beginning of one beheading video.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, like I purposely haven't it took forever. Even just putting that thought out in the world, like I can see, and I'm just like, fuck. Like how can people fucking like watch this kind of shit? Like how does that not affect you seeing that?
I don't know.
Like I understand how hard it is to get out. My weird fucking stuff is like robbers getting fucked up.
Oh.
like people going into I don't know, like usually it looks like some kind of South American fucking like I wouldn't fucking rob anybody in South America, but
fucking Brazil, you crazy?
These people are rowdy, but they're all ready to go and they're all carrying. Like so you see a lot of these fucking scooter or motorcycle fucking ripoffs where people just drive up to people on their motorcycle, not the person's walking. I've seen people get their motorcycle jacked while they're on their motorcycle, right? Like people pulled off, but a lot of these guys are on motorcycles and they come and do shit and they'll just fuck with the wrong person. That's why it's on Twitter, and then they'll try to get away, and the person getting robbed pulls a gun out, or somebody goes into a store to try to rob them, and the clerk is ready to go.
Oh yeah,
and you'll just see the guy just fucking collapse, like it's crazy, man.
Yeah,
and I mean, I've never really been one of these, I don't know how to put it. Like I've kind of. When I think of guns in the States, like I understand, like I don't understand like armed militias, like and like fighting the government. You know what I mean? Like I mean that's the whole purpose of it. But like having home protection, like guns and all that, like I don't know. I don't hate the idea.
Yeah,
like I understand why they do it.
I agree.
I don't know if I could ever own a gun.
Really?
Yeah. Like I've never shot a gun. I've barely shot a BB gun. Like I'm not. My mom was like she hated guns a lot. Like when it comes from England, they have a different. Story of so she doesn't understand any of that culture like of guns and protection. But the older I get, I realize that I'm just relying on the police to protect me.
Honestly, that's what I was telling Selena before. I'm like, why don't we have a gun in the house? But she's more like she thinks the kids type of a thing and stuff. I'm like, well, you can get a safe. You're like, there's so much shit you can do. And so like we hide presents and they never find it. So like, come on, like we could put a gun in a safe and probably be fine. The odds are slim. It happens, but the odds are slim. And so like that's that. But in Canada, you can't really shoot anybody anyways. But like my whole philosophy on the guns, and I think the States is genius for that because no one's going to invade them at that point. armed militias. Everybody, there's more guns in there than people. Like you invade a country, like if it's wartime, you can invade all the other countries in the world. But if you invade a country like the United States, it's gonna be a rough one because they're so patriotic. That's why they preach patriotism, right?
I think they preach. I mean, it's hard to argue that angle, and for some reason, I think we talked about this before, like not on the show, but I think I heard that.
Yeah, we had this conversation.
I think I heard that angle from you, and I've never really heard it like that before. Like the whole reason they have it is for protection against their own government in the writings of their constitution and all that shit.
Yeah,
like it's the right to bear. It's not the right to bear arms to protect as a country
for sure.
So we have these. It's so you don't get. It's so whatever the government is for the people. Now that's not the same. That's not what it was.
You
back
can't
then.
preach that when you're the most powerful country in the world. Oh yeah, you guys all should be guns so you can protect yourself in case people invade us. You can't preach that to them because no one's gonna buy that. But everybody will buy anarchy. Everybody will buy a civil war. They'll buy into that before they don't even think they'll never. Do you think the Americans ever think they'll ever get invaded? Like. The people, they'll never think that in their minds. They're like, we have nukes, warships, Air Force, nobody, but it can happen for sure.
Well, I think that's why we've been in a fucking continuous war on terror since fucking 1990.
Yeah.
Like that's how they use that.
Yeah.
That's how they use their but none of that is the home armed. None of that is home like militias, like all that kind of stuff is, if you read certain Twitter algorithms or whatever, it's like that's outside sources. Like that's TikTok's whole purpose is to create civil war in America. Like have them fight each other. We can't go in there because like if they were unison, it would be like impossible, right? Like if it was as patriotic as it felt like what the story of the 50s were, or after World War II or whatever, if that was a real thing, then yeah, it'd be unbeatable. But we're coming from a place where we know what we know now. And it really wasn't like in 1950s. You know what I mean? There were different fucking water fountains. Yeah. They were different. Like there was no recognition of anything.
But that just proves they will always come together for their own land. Always.
But it's not, I think it's less and less. It was never as true as it was seemed to be. When they were doing it in the 50s and the land of the holy free, they were forgetting about all kinds of fucking cultures.
Yeah, but they were still allowing like Tuskegee and stuff. They were still allowing people to join they were allowing them to join the military, and people still wanted to fight, even though they were segregated in their own country. They still wanted to fight in the World War. They still wanted to join, right?
Excusing all my ignorance and all that. It was when these Tuskegees and these black men came back from World War II. My narrative that I hear is realizing that they were fighting for other countries' freedoms, coming home to no freedom of their own.
Yeah,
like it's fine to let them join to be cannon fodder.
Yeah,
right. And look at all the other like experiments. The reason why we know the Tuskegee Airmen is not because of their bravery; it's because of the fucking experiments that got put on them. Yep. You know what I mean? Like fucking the syphilis shit that went on into the 70s and stuff.
For sure.
Right? Like that seems ancient to you, but that's like in my timeline.
For
right?
sure.
Like it's so fucking closer than World War II.
But at the same time, you don't think. If they're going to join to fight for their country and they know what happened when they come back, you don't think they're going to, well, there's already people who joined to fight for their country right now. There's Indian people and like Muslim people, more, that's a better word for it, that get discriminated in their country right now that will take an instant to join the army right now.
Yeah, because they don't believe that. Okay, sorry.
So that's what I'm saying. Like they will always protect their home, no matter what's going on. They will allow all these problems that they're talking about. Having trans people join the army and that you can't, whatever. I guarantee you, these trans people, they want to join the army. That's why you have the problem on a country that right now discriminates against them. Depends on where you are, really, but they still discriminate them overall as a whole, and they still want to join the army and fight for their country. That's really what I think. Patriotism is a big brainwashing that will never be going away. I mean, I don't know how to put this a different way. I have I have respect for that, the truish patriotism like that. Mm-hmm. Like, not because, like, I don't think they're fighting for the idealism of that American dream and all that. Like, we concentrate on the exploitativeness of it and feel that they're exploited. Like, that's really how it is only going to exist. Like, I think a person like Trump or something like that, they come in and they exploit that. We exploit everything. So they exploit that fucking patriotism and make America great again and make all that stuff first, right? It's just like, but ignoring all the kind of other shit that wasn't great about it. Yeah.
Right? Like, but that's why you need to argue, you know what I mean? Like, have debate about it. Like, by the time they were drafting people for the fucking Vietnam War, 20, 30 years later than fucking World War II, there was a different sentiment, like thought mentality about why are we fighting?
Yeah.
Right? Like it wasn't like you couldn't do it. You couldn't draft anybody for the Gulf War. By the time it gets to the 90s, before the internet is even here yet, we've seen World War II and its Tuskegees. And then I haven't lived in that world, but I've just learned about it later, whatever. And then you see about the people getting drafted. And who was drafted first? You know what I mean? Like then I start to hear all these songs. We're going to do, like after our break and all that, we're going to do songs. All these Vietnam War protesters, you know what I mean? Like they're not all just dirty hippies.
Yeah,
they're true patriotic Americans.
Yeah.
That like you're exploiting our fucking power for bad. And now we get to fucking Iraq where we go, oh, who got to build Iraq back up again? Oh, the vice president.
Yeah.
You know, like, oh, I see. Like, so yeah, like if you concentrate on the negative, the better people are the ones that go fight Iraq and go like, this is all fucked up.
Yeah.
We're spending $18 billion on photocopiers. Like it's a money laundering gimmick.
For sure.
Right? But it's not gone away. Whenever I hear they're giving money to Ukraine,
oh man,
I feel that there has to be some kind of money laundering part of this fucking thing. Like
I don't understand it. I don't understand it.
Like billions of dollars while like everything else is kind of crumbling. Like I get it and I see it, but I just don't believe it as much as I would have as a fucking 16-year-old or whatever, a young kid.
The thing is, Jay, I think that you don't believe those things because we already learned everything after. And I think that's what would happen if something like that happens now. If there was like a big war and everything, like for example, you just said Iraq. When they went to Iraq, well, I guess we went there too.
Yeah.
They were like, okay, everybody goes, we were all for it. And it was only after where everybody was like, oh, this is fucked up. You know what I mean? And that's what's always going to happen. The next war thing that happens, we're all going to be for it until we're not. And it's already too late when we're not.
So, but I agree. We're never going to know until we know.
Yeah.
And I don't know if we ever learn from history's, like our past. But what I'm saying is each time it knocks down our faith in the country. If the government, it's not, okay, there's a difference between the country and the government.
Yeah.
And so it's going to be very hard to convince the people that are fucking militia types in the States. If Joe Biden got on the fucking radio or fucking said, citizens, I need you to defend us against a fucking foreign agent, they're going to go fuck yourself, Joe Biden.
Until Joe Biden plans a Twin Towers attack and then they go, oh shit, we got to protect our country. And then you're already all up in it and you don't even know what's going on. And then by the time the agenda's already pushed, you realize, oh shit. This was bullshit.
No, but I'm saying you're saying like they're not going to get attacked because the country is so well armed.
Yes.
Right? Like yes, they are. Individually you can't get it, but they're not unified. It's not like if China was as armed as fucking the States, you would be like, wow, like these guys are all concentrating on one mission. Right?
But the thing is, no, they're not unified, but they always say in war, guerrilla warfare, urban warfare is the worst. Imagine going through, even if you're not worried, imagine going through New York or Texas. Imagine going through Texas and being like, okay, we're going to go through this. We're going to clear this city. It's already hard enough to clear cities that are crumble. You can't clear a city with everybody has 7 guns and military grade weapons. It's crazy.
What vision? You're right. I'm not even trying to poke holes. I'm just trying to find reasons why, like, it's just harder to get done. Like, I don't even know what my point of my conversation is, but I just hearing you say that, I just like, can you imagine when you see these like war-torn Sarajevo or these like places that are bombed right out? Like, it looked like a little New York.
Yeah.
Like it looked like downtown Mississauga or something. Like it just looked like hustling and bustling.
Yeah.
Like you see pictures, and again, I'm not trying to be ignorant of other cultures or whatever, but I just see like pictures of like Afghanistan or Iran
Somalia
in the
is a
60s.
really, really big, remember Black Hawk Down and whatnot? Somalia is a really big thing because they basically lost that, and that is not well-armed, fully, like they bombed the shit out of that place.
You're right. No, but to what point? Right? Like I get it. So that's
stupid.
But that's what I mean. So that kind of high level bombing cities to oblivion is for a whole other purpose. You know what I mean? Like you're right. Like they would do that before they fucking marched into New York.
Oh yeah.
Right? And then by that time, a place like New York is so different than Texas. You're not going to have so many fucking like stand-up patriots there.
No.
They're going to be like fucking like they're going to be like more for instant survival.
And that's where they put the National Guard, and then you don't have to worry about Texas.
Yeah, I hear you. I
It's kind of fucked up, actually.
the whole thing of war is kind of fucked up,
It is big time,
right? Because like it happens everywhere else,
Yeah,
right? Like it's something that like I've heard people have talked about it. If you think about it too long, it's just like it's insane that it exists.
yeah.
Like it's insane, like all the way we try to protect humanities and fucking everything. You know what I mean? Like some people don't care about cats. Some people fucking bring all the cats home. Like some people fucking like care about all the people. Like they haven't fucking like, are you on all your meds? Like everything. Like how can I help you at work? Like good leaders, individualized. We talk other shit at work related stuff. Like I have to treat people differently because people are different, right? And then if you get like, it's hard to make everything uniform, even with other shit we talk about. Like you want uniform, whatever. In each sense, I get butthurt when I'm just like, you don't treat me like I'm a special senior welder, not because of the age, but I've been here for that too. And it's like, no, like we got to treat everybody the same. You don't realize some of the special treatment you might get because it's in a meeting where we're going, yeah, you're going to get these jobs, you're going to get that, or we're going to ask more of you, or we just assume that you're going to help other people, right? Like it's, and then I can as a person be like, well, you never had this conversation. Like that's just individualized, but I'm not aware of how I am received in a way, but I'm just taking the examples where I feel I'm not, feel disrespected and question it or whatever, bitch about it. But when you think of all that, and then you think of that, yeah, we actually put guns in people's hands to kill people. Like it's easy to just keep Russia the bad guy. Like it is, like, you know what I mean? But like, if you ever like put yourself in, why would Russia be like this? Just maybe they're not just power hungry. Maybe they're like a weak country that are just whatever. Like they feel attacked upon, and it's hard. I get why you wouldn't want to do that, right? And you get like wanting to treat Ukraine like its own country. Like this is where I just want to treat everybody the same. I don't understand. You know what I mean? Like give them the ownership or all of that. But the amount. Like I said, I don't think money's real. Like I said, that's why I think it's a money laundering aspect. It's like what's hidden behind this fucking $500 billion deal.
Yeah,
like these monies mean nothing. Like this is a fucking Trudeau. Again, I'm not trying to make it too political, but that we as a collective whole country don't have as much faith in as we did before. Did you see the clip? You might not of the Rolling Stones concert in Vancouver. It was like a couple of days ago. Rolling Stones had a concert in Vancouver, and they were having their grand old time.
They were saying fuck Trudeau.
And then, no. So yeah, they go, we love Canada. We're having a great time. Oh, your prime minister, what a beautiful family, this and that. As he just started making a couple sentences about like how like Trudeau is a great guy, the whole crowd boo, boo, and he fucking starts looking confused. Like I should send you the clip. It's hilarious. He starts looking around, and he might have said something else, and boo, and then he fucking pauses, and then the 20 seconds after he said the first thing, he goes, so how about that soccer team? Right? It makes it like, yeah.
Oh, he was out of touch.
So he was like, but they showed a close up of his eyes, like he didn't expect that.
He was out of touch,
right? Because he doesn't care. Like he just like it doesn't affect him at all, right? Like, but it's funny. So I just say whenever I see him up there giving this whole fucking Ukraine thing or whatever, what else is behind this?
Oh, there got to be so much, and that's the problem, that they know so much that they can fool us very easily. And even when we think we're onto it, like, you know how people have their conspiracies and whatnot, even when we're onto it, I honestly always believe that. That's why I don't believe conspiracies, because I don't believe you can get it right over me, or I don't even believe I can get it right over you. So it's just like what they're doing, none of us have any idea. And they've proven time and time again, and this is about the government, time and time again, that they fool us very easily, and then 30, 40 years later, we figure it out. So I don't even try.
Do you ever think that a good result comes out of like what we figured out?
Absolutely. I think back to the military, I think one of the best results when after World War II is when when the Americans really started to put pressure on building bases overseas and having they went to the philosophy of projecting their power instead of being on the defensive like most other countries do. And this is why nobody can invade over here. This is why wars always happen out there. And we don't have no concept of what it's like to be war torn at all. But so many countries do. You know what I mean? So that was their philosophy, and nobody understood what they were doing. Oh, why are they spending billions and billions of dollars on army? Why are they in this country and this? You know, America has like 200 bases across the world.
Yeah.
Like, that's insane.
I didn't know the number.
And they started that after World War II. So we had no idea. We were just wondering, why are they over there? Why are they doing this? And then now you look and you realize, well, hey, we'd never have a concept of a bomb. Like, it has to be terrorist attack is all we know. That's
like the ultimate worldwide guerrilla warfare type of thing, right? Like you're right. That's why like urban warfare it never really works. It's hard to do. Even like the jungle warfare of Vietnam. Like when you're on that kind of territory,
and their territory,
when you get that kind of home field advantage, then you get it.
But the best thing is it's their home field. It's not yours, and you don't have to deal with the repercussions of the fallout.
Do you ever feel guilty that we benefit from that?
I feel lucky.
Yeah, okay, that's a better.
I feel lucky.
So, but guilt never, like, because I know, I guess guilt would be if you purposely did it.
Yeah.
Like, but I'm not protesting against it.
I've thought many times over and over that, like, I'm lucky. I'm lucky that my mom came here when she was 17. Like, I'm lucky, all that. She chose. I'm even happy she didn't even go to the States. I'm so happy she came to Toronto. I got to meet the people I met. I got to live the life I got to live. And that's all because she came here and didn't stay in Jamaica or didn't go to Africa or even England or Russia or anywhere. She could have gone anywhere in the world, right? And this is the place she chose. And it's probably, even though we like fuck Trudeau and whatnot, it's probably one of the better places to live on the world. So
I know you're not. I appreciate that, hearing you say that, and I get that, and I feel the same way. I've seen, I've never like I think I've leaned to, if I've ever thought of it, like sometimes just feel guilty that I have this life I do, right? Like it mostly I'm misinterpreting it as I should just feel lucky. I've never like had, that's true privilege. Like I've always just had this kind of existence, right? And it's only in this kind of, whatever, not recently, but like over the past fucking quarter century, recent, you know what I mean? Like check your privilege type of thing. Like it's overused, but like I'm not oblivious to it.
Yeah.
I also see this in a way, like, well, growing up again, because my parents were English, and seeing the decline of that empire, right? Like we're you could try to predict the decline of the American empire. You could probably predict it anytime you want, or think it's happening, or whatever. I don't know. The way you just said it, it's like, no, it's far from over, type of thing. Like I think, you can play it in the media that it's declining, however you want to think of it. But what I kind of heard from, and it wasn't like I had long conversations with him about it or whatever, is that we talked about this World War II thing. Obviously, we don't really know what we're talking about, but like I always heard it from the English and German side, right? Never really, and the Canadian, like Vimy Ridge and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
And it was like a revelation of the nuclear bombs and the Pacific thing. It's only until you're like in America or in Canada, I guess, that you never hear the British side. If you go from the Americans, they had to rescue the British.
Yeah.
And you could also, when you look back on it, you can see like, oh, why did it take you so long to help?
Yeah.
And my dad's thing is because they purposely wanted to weaken England. They didn't owe England any favors. In this grand scheme of things, we're on the same side. This is like, hey, how can we put a death knell on fucking England? And so you let it get bombed into oblivion.
Payback for
wars. This is from an English point of view.
Yeah.
But my dad was never convinced. That was why he hated America for a long time, until he actually was old. He went there. And he lived in it. You know what I mean? Once he started working in America and doing, like, even my uncle, Scottish military guy, like all that, they fucking love America. You know why? It's because of because of the patriots.
Yeah.
Because the real American person.
Yeah.
If you and I were in Kansas City working our jobs, we would be just so confused about our choices of president.
Yeah.
We would be so upset about everything, but we would think that we were living in the fucking greatest, freest place in the world and the best example of democracy. We would think of exactly of the things that we think people think too much of, that they shouldn't take credit for, or whatever they think. But they caught that. They fucking didn't love England because of the king and queen or government. They loved it despite that things.
But how much of that is because the environment? Like, if they went to Russia, would they hate the States even more? Like, you know what I mean?
It depends how old they were. Or it depends, like, what your situation is. If you purposely go there, Edward Snowden loves Russia more than he does America. Yeah. But he was who he is because he's American.
Yeah.
And he
didn't do it because he wanted to go to Russia.
No, but that's why he's confused. Like, wait a second. I gave this to the media, and the media turned me into a villain. And then so you look back at that. How much do you want to believe that he's just looking for a fucking celebrity? Did he make up these documents? You take him at full word.
No way.
And if you take him at full word or even partial word, what are you doing about it? Nothing. We're letting them collect all our data still.
Yeah.
Nobody got arrested
Yeah.
as a grand scheme of fucking data collection.
Yeah.
We're just like, I figured they were doing it. And it's really illegal. If you and I tried to do
Is
that,
it?
and
It's illegal for us.
yeah, that's what I'm saying. But
Not
he was
for
trying to
them.
show it's illegal for them too. Like,
No. It's to protect you, Jay. We have to get all this information to protect you, Jay. Come
okay,
on.
so then we get to debate if that's true or not. Right? And then that's why. So do you think Edward Snowden is, I mean, he might not be either. Is he a hero or a villain?
I think he's a rat.
So you would just let it go.
Yeah.
You wouldn't want any kind of whistleblower.
I don't like whistleblowers. No,
That's insane to me.
I don't like whistleblowers.
That's insane to me because I
Not
don't.
from the inside. I don't. Yeah, that's
That's the only way a whistleblower comes.
Yeah, I don't like that. I don't like that. I think unless like you were joined under false pretense and stuff. But like, if I'm gonna join the CIA and I start to see all this shit that the CIA does, but like it's a needed necessary evil, I'm not gonna go out there and be like, okay, so I tortured this guy for 8 hours, but I saved a family in the United States from anthrax. I'm not gonna go be like, man, they be torturing people over there. I'm telling you, because I did it myself. That to me is really messed up. You should have. We already have like what Snowden was CIA? Was he
Snowden was
FBI?
NSA.
NSA. So that's even worse. They're gonna probably do things that's shit that we never hear about. We hear about stuff CIA, FBI, but the NSA you rarely hear shit about, and they're constantly working. So I'm not gonna go in there. I'm joining the NSA. And I'm not going to go in there thinking I'm going to be freaking, oh yeah, hands clean and everything. I know shit's going to be dirty. And then I turn around and start freaking blowing whistles and shit. No, fuck that.
So if you're a
known.
cop and you were working somebody that was planting evidence and fucking like arresting innocent people just to get people that they knew that were guilty.
That's illegal.
But so again, yeah, but now you're making a differentiation.
For sure. That's illegal, and that can be thrown out in court. If I got caught planting evidence, that can be thrown out in court. But people like the Army and the NSA, they don't necessarily have that that threshold where you have to say, well, you have to prove this in court. Well, all the shit we already know for sure. They already know they know who the terrorists are. They know where they're going. They know what's going on, right? They're not planting evidence. They just maybe torturing a couple people.
But none of that. It was just like the
data collection is the same thing.
Yeah, but I hear it. But like it's okay. So, but then we get to have a debate. They don't get an organization doesn't get to decide on what private conversations they get to hear of ours, right? Like this is more the thing. It's like it got taken away from us. We put the phones in. This is where the affairs is. We're all carrying these phones. So if a government, if somebody wants to keep our phones on all the time and come back to fucking like years from now, come back to this date and find out what we actually talked about.
Yep.
Yes, we were a part of that thing, but really we expect the right to have that not happen. We expect the right to nobody to come into our homes and tell us what to do when we're not harming anybody else.
Well, that's fine. Don't tell me what to do, but let me say whatever I want. If they're listening to us and collecting all this, if this mixer is collecting data and sending it off, and I don't really give a fuck. But if I'm sending it off and they come tell me, listen, you just said that we projected power. We really weren't doing that. So you need to stop talking about that. I'm going to be like, no, that's completely different. But
okay, go ahead.
But if I'm sitting here saying like, yeah, I'm planning to do this and do that and do that, and they take it up and then they burst down my door, then that's my fault. I'm trying to blow up the CN Tower. That's my fault. I'm not worried about that because I'm not doing any of that really like nefarious, illegal, like just like, to me, that innocent people is like the worst thing to me. Like hurting innocent people. Like anytime I see like movies with like gangs and wars, like they all even criminals have rules about innocent people. So when you start doing things like that really, to me, I don't give a fuck what you do. Sure, take anything I say because I know I'm not going to be doing anything harmful to people like that.
But we expect full disclosure. I get it. Like they need to have like for whatever the terrorist's sake or all that, we can't have all our data collection being known. But that's not the society we live in. We don't give over all that. The government works for the people.
Yeah.
So there has to be a discussion.
They're working.
That they're going to be collecting fucking the data.
Yeah, but at the same time, I think people have a misconception of it because when they hear data collection, they probably think like they're listening to everything about everything. They don't care. Even when people talk about like Amazon and Google listening to everything you say, they don't care about everything you say. They don't care about any of that. They just care about certain things you say.
No, but it's to keep people in check, to go back on. It's, again, I'm not trying to say like the Me Too thing was fucking like a bad thing or whatever, but when like Kevin Hart's getting fucking hassled for tweets fucking 10 years later,
yeah,
he has to defend himself. And it's like I don't agree with that.
Yeah,
like there was
me
like
too.
that was at a time and place and a situation. So that recall, but it doesn't stop people from like using it in the wrong way.
And
like,
that's
the innocent data collection.
That's the difference. This may sound crazy. I think the government is more responsible with data than we are with data. We will see Kevin Hart tweet something about a gay person and lose their mind. The government will see Kevin Hart tweet about a gay person and delete it. They don't give a fuck about that. They're going to look for data is so expensive in terms of space, right? Capacity and stuff. You're not going to keep everything that everybody does. That's ridiculous. Well, they're only looking, you just really can't, which is why you have to pay for storage right now from the two richest companies in the world. You still have to pay them for storage. The government doesn't make as much money as Google and Apple. So they don't have that capacity to keep in the American sense, 350, 400 million people's data and keep everything they say. They're not doing that. They don't care about that. They care about what's actually necessary and useful, whatever sense that is to them, right?
I agree with you. I don't want to come across that I don't agree with you like that. I think he's more like, I don't have that same feeling about whistleblowers though.
Yeah.
Like I'm feeling that without a whistleblower, like we will never find any of this kind of fucking bad shit out.
Yeah.
Like I'm watching this show, fucking go talk about nice innocent things like TV shows again. Line of Duty, and it's a British show about corruption cops that are anti-corruption.
Yeah.
That they have to go and they all they do is investigate bad coppers, and you fucking like the hypocrisy of even that,
yeah.
right? Like, but they're hated by all the other cops,
yeah.
right? Because but some of these cops are fucking embedded in fucking serious organized crime.
I'm fine with that.
And they're getting rid of those bad cops, but the people that hate them aren't all bad cops that are trying to get away with something. They just think that they're not on the same team.
But I don't think that that's whistleblowing. Calling somebody out what they're doing illegally, I don't think is whistleblowing. I don't think Snowden was. Was Snowden saying that the government's doing something illegal?
Yes,
they weren't.
In the sense that we never had the discussion that they could collect our data.
But that's not illegal. It's illegal to
it is when
drugs
people
on
ask
somebody.
them. When they ask them about it, it is in the sense of right to privacy.
Show me the law.
I don't know. I don't have this all.
The NSA operates above privacy, above certain levels. So, which part of it was actually illegal? It's illegal for a cop to plant drugs on people, for sure. It's in the law. You can go to jail for that. But the NSA is not going to go to jail for collecting data of a Chinese spy and sending him to jail. That's not going to happen.
So, if a cop just comes in with some kind of device that they've pinpointed a criminal in this. I know your answer, so I'm not even going to bother. That they know that there's a criminal within this square block, and so they have these fucking devices where they can just pop their fucking car at the park there and listen to every cell call, right? Just to find
That's
their own.
illegal. They can't.
Yeah, but they do that. That comes out in cases I've seen on fucking on documentaries.
Sure. And what happens to those cases?
Yeah, once it gets found out, they
get thrown out.
But if they get to a point where they have to find out, okay, that you're right. But what I think Snowden is looking for is they find evidence that you and I are like making a drug deal.
No,
and
it's not even that.
They were looking, and then so
minor.
they'll come back and they'll come and get us because they found information often when they were searching for something else, and they came and used that. You know what I mean? That information, and they found that information illegal.
I highly doubt that happened.
Yeah, I'm stretching.
I know, but I'm saying like those kind of like. It's like there's been situations where people have told cops certain things about other people and they can't just go back and do it. Like it just doesn't, it's just not that easy. And I know that's why I only believe half of what Snowden was saying.
I get it.
Because no, like they're not, if he's talking about the NSA, yeah, if the NSA is listening to a whole bunch of calls and then they go off and do their thing and they say, shit, we heard this guy on a different call. He was talking about making a bomb or something or buying freaking fertilizer. So let's go back and see. Oh, fertilizer. Oh, now he's buying this and this. Okay, sure. Get rid of that guy because he's going to go kill 10,000 people and all we have to do is listen to his calls from 2 months ago. I don't give a fuck about any of that. I don't care about any of that.
I mean, I hear you. I just don't have the same kind of trust in the government that I should have.
Well, that's another thing. That's the whole thing.
But that's what I think a guy like Snowden, again, I don't have all these details.
Yeah.
I don't have the ins and outs. Everything you're saying, I have no real fight against. I don't know if that's the whole story.
I don't think it is the whole story.
And I just don't have that same kind of faith in, like I would be at that Rolling Stones concert saying, I've just had enough of this Trudeau guy. Yep. Not because the next guy's going to be any greater. Like, you know what I mean? Like, my wife's going to vote for Trudeau as I vote for the other guy. I don't hate her for it. I still love, I get it.
Yeah.
I love the promise. I love everything that I hope he does, right? But I just don't like him anymore. I just don't trust him anymore. I'm not going to trust even the next guy.
Yeah.
Most of me doesn't care because I'm not going to fucking like the next guy anyway. And so I get it. But just part of me, just like, the power needs to be checked.
And I agree with. I think the power needs to be checked. I agree. Like, I'm sick of Trudeau too. Like, you know what I mean? I'm sick of all that. But at the same time, I'm sick of the people who are always saying fuck Trudeau with their flags. Like,
yeah,
you know
I'm
what I mean?
more sick of them.
I'm sick of
You're
both
right.
of them. So it's like, it's the same thing with the Snow. I'm sick of half of Snowden does, and I'm sick of half of what the government does. But at the end of the day, there's something in between that makes sense, I think.
It gets to this. This is why I'm gone off of my fucking soapbox to smoke a joint with you again, because I don't want you to be more conspiracy minded. Like, I get why, if you know what I mean. Like, if that's in you and you don't want to do it, you've recognized that might be a fault. But I also think that you also just like, it's a never ending saga.
Yeah.
Like, you're never going to be. What are you going to do? Be a whistleblower and live in Russia?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, what
Right.
was the ends to fucking, like, even if you take Snowden at his all his good, you know, at his greatness, like, what did it get you?
And he still can't even live a free life.
What did it get you? Like, one of the kind of the worst one was even the fucking Julian Assange.
Yeah.
Like the
Oh,
WikiLeaks. Right? Like, that's a Snowden story even on a little bit more steroids.
Yep.
Because he got in trouble for showing illegal military shit.
Yeah.
But then he's like a little bit of a caricature of who he is. And then you find out he's like charged for this kind of weird sexual
Weird
thing.
shit,
Like,
yeah.
it really, if you dive deep into, if you just read the headline, oh, he tried to drug somebody, doing this thing. Well, no, it was somebody he knew longer than that, and it was like a relationship that maybe, you know what I mean? He got kind of operative into his situation.
Yeah.
And then he's all of a sudden in a fucking London embassy for fucking decades or whatever the fuck it is.
Yeah.
And so but he's eventually just got freed for whatever, you know what I mean? Or whatever. I don't know how free he can really be. But like, that's ultimately, he's just trying to show somebody was covering up a fucking military, like, in my mind, his first thing, I shouldn't talk about this at all. I don't have any instant information for it, but I was going to come in here with such good intentions. He was showing like the helicopter was mowing people down.
Yeah.
And laughing about it, like not caring about civilian things and all that. And so, yes, that might have been a part of a greater military operation that's keeping us all free and safe. But at that moment, those helicopter pilots gleefully killed innocent people.
Yep.
And so he wanted to show that. Said, look, there's something, hoping maybe somebody else dove deeper. But I know that, the second that got to somebody more important, it got shut right fucking down.
Yeah, that's
nobody
the
who
thing.
really should have paid for that crime.
But do we know? Do we know what happened
No,
to
we
those
don't
helicopter
really.
pilots?
I'm assuming that. You're right.
And like we hear in the news all the time where people get charged for war crimes in the military, in the United States military. So these things, and their courts aren't as open as our courts. Like they're completely different. So that's like there's bad apples everywhere, right?
I'll try to tie
And
this
you
back.
thought we wouldn't have anything to talk about,
I
Jay.
never said
Come
that. How
on.
dare you? I just wanted to. I have limited time. I got another hard out, and we're going to be gone for at least 3 weeks after this.
Goddamn.
A lot of this reeks of bad leadership and all that kind of stuff, and not to tie it into all work or where this could
Are
go.
you telling me
there.
I should whistleblow?
No, we talk about some of that shit.
Yeah.
Maybe some of the time, like you. Man,
Maybe that's why.
How dare you? I
Let's
wasn't going to
go.
jump off of this.
I'm sorry.
I have I don't have any less. I don't know, but my frustration at our work has been with my ultimate supervisor in Ali, and just like feeling disrespected by him in a way, and like taking it a little personal in a way, and realizing that I got no thrift when I wanted to be this lead hand part. Even bringing it on to Marcel. Oh, Marcel. I've said it out loud. I wish he stood up more and made his own decisions instead of deferring to his quote unquote leader.
Yeah.
Right. I recognize that he could be this quote unquote leader. I respect you for just taking the reins. Whatever, you're caught in a little bit of the middle of it all, but this is why I said it more than once now, like that's why you have a shift that respects you, is because most of the time I think they feel you have your back. You can show me examples where they don't find that, but as a whole, that's with the overall arc of living in the safety of what you've given them. Right. And so, yeah, like it's not a whistleblower to fucking like call Ali out for not giving reviews yet when you gave him months ago.
Yeah.
Or fucking like putting the numbers on the bays and all that. You're just like so non-whistleblower-ish. You're just like, well, that's up to him. Like I'm to the detriment of the company.
Absolutely.
Right. And then, but I don't know how many times you've not, when you just let him do whatever he does until he goes home and then just take over and do it. Like I've told you, like just ignore him. You know how to ignore him. And Marcel doesn't. And so I don't call that whistleblowing. I'm not saying you to go out, just fix it yourself, right? Like it's not, you have the power. It's microcosm. It's not a government fucking war issue, right? Like I'm getting off of that. That's more general, like it's just too hard to even fucking contemplate. Yeah. But you aren't that. Don't turn it into that. Don't turn Ali into fucking George Bush. He's the fucking president. What can I do about it? Yeah. You'd be like fucking, this fucking guy. We come to a realization that this guy might be fucking crazy. Yeah. This guy might not know exactly we can bring up examples of that. So what do we do about it? We just fucking don't do anything about it. He telling me that he just found out about me not coming back to work for 3 months. Yeah. When I brought that up, didn't finish the story with you, not personally, but when I brought that up after I had my review with him and talked to him the other day, which is a whole other fucking topic, but like the review system, like that's set up to fail, right? Okay. Yep. But you can only do like, you know what I mean? Like there's nobody to whistleblow about that.
Oh, I brought it.
Okay,
right,
so there are you a whistleblower?
HR. I'm fighting for the people.
There you go. Okay, you and Snowden. And so I had this conversation. So he told me like it was news to him. Yeah. And in that moment, after I've had my opinion changed on this guy, I felt for him in a way that goes, you know what? I never told you myself. Like he's like, I'm a supervisor. Nobody told me this. And I go, fuck. Yeah, so you know what, man? I probably should have told you. I said, but I told them and I told Marcel and I just never got around to telling you. He's like, no. He was so mad at them for not telling him who's in charge of this whole fucking operation, right? And he's trying to tell me like fucking like, yeah, you and Johnny and Tio, you're seniors and we got this, but they got these other ideas. Like it's very hard to understand what his line of thinking is when he starts talking sometimes. He's on... You think I'm all over the place.
No, he's
and so
minute by minute.
So he's going all over the place like this, and I'm here and I'm just like, fuck yeah, I wish I kind of told you that. And I kind of sat on that for a moment and I had a conversation with him. I told him, he's trying to explain why he's giving me whatever marks in this review and why he's doing this. And every time for fucking decade now, I've told him, Ali, I know this process is bullshit. I know that they're not allowed to write in an email, don't give anybody an A, because that means we have to give them more money. But you know, don't give anybody an A, right? And they set up. It's like the scale isn't like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's like it's 1, 5, 10. Like it's all over the place to make it not to purposely not give your employees A's. If you get it, you get it. But whatever. So I just say you don't have to explain yourself. Like he's had so many people that are like, why are you giving me this for that? Like, no, I'm the best. I'm not going to do that to him. I go, I know you have to put me down somehow. You know, even if I think I'm the best, you don't want. You're going to get in trouble if you give me an A. So you don't have to. So that's fine. But I do feel a certain way about it. And so afterwards, I'm talking to Marcel about something else and whatever. I go, yeah. And I felt a little bad that he didn't know. And Marcel's like, that's bullshit, man. He's like, for sure we told him. Mm-hmm. Like for sure, like this. He just forgot. And I believe that more.
Yeah.
Right.
I feel like I mentioned. I really do, but I didn't want to die in that because I couldn't remember it, so I didn't bring it up.
So it makes me want to withdraw. Like I've said this. Like once I realized. Like I put my name in the hat, and I think once I fucking like whatever self-sabotage, all that kind of stuff, is that I don't trust the leadership, and it's not you. I trust you and Marcel, but unfortunately, you guys have to trust Ali and Ryan
Yeah.
and Nicole. And I trust Nicole. Like, I don't know why. I believe her.
Because she's honest.
Yeah. Like, I believe her. Like, I don't see I see frustration and effort with her. I see the same kind of thing with you. I see like a little bit of bullshit politician. I see lesser of a leader than Marcel. I see a desire to, and frustrate, like confusion on how to get what he wants done and not the ability to do it like in like certain other people. And Ryan, I just instantly feel a little disappointed in the lack of leadership. So in a government sense, I don't think there's a conspiracy to keep me down. Right, like with this whole A and B thing, that I do believe. Like, I mean, like, there is some kind of truth in that, but that's the system that Ryan inherited, right? And he's just going along with the flow.
That
like,
was
even
there
go to
before
Sunil,
him,
who I
right?
will give AA plus fucking reviews for. But he's also in the business of fucking me over for a quarter or an hour if he
He's
can.
in the business of, he's the finance
That's
guy,
what I mean.
right?
So I don't want to live in that world, and I get it. And I have to put myself in a mindset that even if I strive for $5 more an hour, and yes, ignoring what that fractional money might give me personally, I got to know that it's really not changing my life.
Nope.
Like the effort to get that the it's not as grand as sacrificing my personal integrity, but the things I'd have to do to get that would make me way more frustrated at work.
Yep.
And I'm not being I wasn't trying to be a leader at work for respect or even more money. I just like, okay, a little bit more money. It was just like, maybe this is what I should do. Listening to you is like, don't you want to help the company out and do all that? And it's like, I wish I stuck to my guns and never thought of it like that in a way. Like, that's how I've voiced that opinion, right?
Yeah.
I'm still like kind of like at it like that, but I do hope that when I come back, I'm better than ever and I can just do what I do now.
I hope when you come back, you become the leader again.
I don't know what it's going to be. So this is what
I think half of what you're saying is true. It is more frustrating. It's not going to change your life. I'm not going to go buy a Lexus and whatnot. But I think I did tell you this before. Even though I also miss building stuff, I don't think I could go back. I really don't.
Yeah, but you're closer to leaving this. The frustration that you deal with at work is making you not want to do it anymore.
It is, but I don't think I could go to another place and not have a supervisor or a leadership position. I don't think I could ever go back to just straight building. Now having the choice, well, it's really time is the only constraint if I want to build something. It's timing and whatnot. Like I don't have 5 hours straight to do something and actually get something done. So but now that I've done this for it's like 2 years, almost 2 years now, I don't think I could go back. I really don't. And I think the frustrations that I have with it, I wouldn't say they're less. I think it's more of like a 50-50. It's good things and bad things at the same time. I think it ultimately becomes somewhat worth it.
Yeah.
Somewhat worth it.
Yeah, but you are the type of person that would just want to be have the same type of position, but it doesn't necessarily have to be in manufacturing.
That is true.
Like it's not manufacturing and building things isn't your jam.
Yeah.
It's a thing you do.
Yeah,
like
yeah.
you're good at it. Like you're almost like too good at it that it becomes secondary. Now we just exploit your leadership skills, and so leaders can come from anywhere. We don't Ryan or Sunil, but whatever Ryan or Nicole don't have to come from manufacturing background.
Yeah,
they could have learned their skills, like I said, at a fucking candy factory.
That's true,
right? Like, but I would never work at a candy factory.
Yeah.
Like I don't want to just fucking package fucking like whatever it is, or the fiberglass factory. Like you're working in this logistics world and the schedule world. Like when Ryan talks to me and he says, "Hey, did you see what we did with your hours of the truck?" It's lost on me.
Yeah.
Like how I'm not being disrespectful. I'm like I don't know how part of the problem I am with that.
He was happy to tell you.
Yes, but my response wasn't as engaged as he was.
I think
at first I had
he thinks you care about the hours probably.
Yes, and I had to stifle myself for the fact that I think your hours are just numbers in the fucking sky.
Yeah.
Right? Like that. No, he doesn't need to hear that. Like I don't need to Snowden in that moment.
Yeah.
I don't need to fucking like break everything down and say blah blah blah. I'm just like, well, the fact that you didn't count all of your trainer's hours on my fucking sliding top, why you think I need to take this on as a personal fucking challenge is beyond me. You know,
probably because it just reflects on you when they look at like, for example, when Ali pulls up, if you can pull up job hours and they say, Jason,
Yeah.
And they say he put, what is your job? 90
But no,
hours?
I get the overall arc you're saying. Like,
Yeah, 90. I'm just for the audience. So 90 hours and Jason's on there for 70 hours and someone's on there for 30 hours. Be like, oh, this was Jason's body. But no, somebody was on there for 50 hours and it's 20 hours over. Like, oh, this was Jason's body. He put the most hours on. What's going on? The numbers live on, not the explanations don't.
so I've known this my whole life.
Yeah.
So I can't change it. It's a fool's errand to want to fucking change that. So I just ignore it. I can't. We've talked about this in other ways. Like I just expect that going on. Like there's many meetings going on that I can't defend myself. Some of them are legit. Like this guy shouldn't be a leader because he's angry all the time. Like he might not be able to talk to people the way we want to. And then you tell me that Nicole says, no, that's just how he talks. And so like, oh, she gets me.
Yeah.
Like there's no agenda there. It's just like, no, you guys are retarded. Like this is, you guys want somebody that people could respect, that has the knowledge, and you're just not, you're whatever, ignoring this part of this other thing and going there. And so it makes, maybe that's where my respect comes from, because I can recognize that that's how I should be received. But my part in it is to be like, you hear me reflective on like my faults.
Yeah.
You, like we've talked about this in a way, like Marcel can hear, but nobody else beyond that has to know that I'm that reflective.
Yeah.
They can just be as ignorant as I am in many other things and just go, oh, that's who he is. That's who he is.
That's fair.
Right? And so I don't expect anybody to change. Those hours are done for my I will never care about defending how long something takes.
So let me ask you, not necessarily defending. Go ahead.
No,
go ahead.
okay, before you have,
I don't
try
want
to
you to
remember.
lose your
No,
mind.
I don't want to, okay,
Yeah,
go.
yeah.
I'll try not to lose
No,
mine.
no. I don't want you to lose your thought, I meant.
But
Go
my
ahead.
thought would be, we talked for an hour yesterday. If we didn't have this hour conversation that we did not need to have because we had fucking this hour and a half conversation, plus the hour and a half conversation we had before this, then I stopped me from getting exactly what I wanted done with my truck yesterday.
Yeah.
I was almost finished everything.
Yeah.
Big boss came, are you going to finish this? You know what? I'm hoping to have this all set up, and yeah, almost done. But you know what? I talked to you instead. And I could have stayed late. Sometimes I stay late, make my wife have dinner late. Are you proud of yourself?
I never
Are
did
you
anything.
fucking proud of
I have
yourself?
nothing to do with any of that. That's all a choice that Jay makes on his own.
You know how hard it is to turn you down.
Politician.
And so we have this fuck situation where, I did that. So if Ryan came to me and says, hey, can you honestly tell me that if you didn't talk to Brian yesterday, you wouldn't have got more done? And I would be, if I fought that to the death, then I am 100% in the wrong.
Yeah.
If I fought it a fraction, I'm in the wrong.
Yeah.
Right? I don't get to say, how dare you not let me and Brian talk? You know what I do, though, is when he comes and says it, I'm starting to go, hey, Ryan, I have a fucking screwdriver and a wrench in my hand. He's in my area. The furthest from the shop from the rest of the people.
Yeah.
Who do you think initiated this?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, you two, you're just such chatty Cathys.
Yeah.
Right? And we get away with it because we have that respect. But we're not in that meeting. But I understand that fucking months later or a week later when they go, hey, how come this body's an hour over? We're not going to go, yeah, it's because you talked to Brian for that hour.
No, that's not even going to be there.
No, I won't. But I won't even be able to defend it. That's a undefendable situation. But when it comes to a job like this, it's got 90 or 100 hours, and it's fucking like it's not being painted. It's got all these other like there. I find them. I would rather defend or just ignore defending the hours to try to defend on why the body wasn't made right.
Mm-hmm.
And anything that I missed, I have to need to have a real reason why I missed it. Or if I didn't do right, if I had a scratch on the body, it's like, why did there was a scratch on this? I'm like, fuck, you know what? There's a piece of metal on the cardboard and I didn't see it and I moved the fucking thing. Fuck. Like, I wish it didn't happen. Like, I can stare at this. I would have to, like, that's a reason. I don't know what the consequences of that. The consequences, oh, this guy didn't take his time to make it non-scratchable.
Yeah.
So don't tell me I needed to make it faster and non-scratchable. Like, you can have that, like, it's the fucking passage that's said through time.
Yes.
So, you want it done fucking fast, cheap, and good. You can't have all three.
No.
You can only have two of those.
You got to balance it, though.
So I'm all about the fucking right and good. Like time, cheap, like, you know what I mean? I'm not about any of that kind of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So I ignore it. I don't want to be in the world where you fucking, and so now you're going to forget your point. Shit. Like, 'cause we're talking about like the fucking time management and meetings and this taking 90 like hours and Jay's hours are on it. I know there are meetings that I'm not going to be able to defend my position.
Yeah.
And some of them are indefensible. Like me talking to you for an hour, I can't say I could have got more done. And so, you know what I mean? Like,
yeah, that's
going to happen in a fiberglass factory.
It's
That's
gone.
going to happen in a candy factory.
It was something to do with the hours, but it's so gone. I was just, no, I don't remember.
See, one of us were going to forget.
It's not that important though.
No, but so this is kind of off the way I thought I was going to start off this week because as frustrated as you've been lately, and the more we talk, you can get back there apparently. But you fucking started your week off with such big smile energy, bro.
Yeah.
Like when I saw you, whatever time you came in on Monday, and this is like the first full 4-day week that I've had to do for a couple of weeks. And the last one we're gonna have to do for quite a while.
Yeah.
Is you were fucking so opposite of sad and frustrated. Like I don't know if it's because of your fucking Monday. I don't know if it's what it was. To tie the same thing in, we haven't talked about your Monday motivation for a while, but I wanted to tell you that this week's Monday motivation was one of your better ones.
Really?
Yeah. Like I said, you're really good at this. You've gotten a lot of credit for other people. I wish you made it a fucking TikTok. I wish I made it part of your fucking identity or your brand.
I've been planning to quit at episode at number 100.
Yeah, see, it's one of the, well, whatever, you can. That's unmotivating of you. Better to admit you walked through the wrong door than spend your life in the wrong room.
Yeah.
Right? And I really like that. Like that one hit me hard for a while because I don't know if that's a natural tendency of mine or whatever. I don't know why, but like I can relate to that. Like defending your bad decision for too long, or just like, you know what I mean, the reluctance to say I might have made a bad mistake there. Yeah, right. Like it's not something you should live in. Like just or whatever.
People make it worse to admit those kind of things for some reason. It's such a negative thing to be like, yeah, fuck, I fucked up. Me, most of the time, I really just try to own up right away. That's like when Johnny approached me about his area. My first thing was, yeah, that was me, my bad. Like I just really try to, I just think it makes things simpler, easier, and mentally on myself, not on other people.
Just for yourself.
Yeah.
No, that's, I don't know how you pick your quotes. If you've had like a fucking, just a Google Doc of fucking.
This one quotes. I stumbled upon, and it was like, I was like, this is fucking perfect.
Is that why it's unknown? You just heard the quote? Yeah, I like that.
I saw it. I was,
you should have,
I think it was
claimed
Twitter.
It for yourself.
I should have, right? And I'm like freaking looking, and I was like, I usually don't look at the post with just too much writing, but then I scrolled back, and I was like, holy shit. And I screenshotted it. I have the screenshot. I'm like, I'm definitely using it this week. I
liked it. I think that's like, so it informed me that you were like, compared to what you were at the end of the last week and the conversations we had about it, I was happy to see that.
Yeah.
Not, maybe more of it's my own selfish thing. Like, I am not, I wouldn't say it's 50-50. I think after this week, I'm going to go as high as 90%. You'll still be there by the time I get back, but maybe. I'm about to be gone. Like I got 2 more weeks of work.
Yeah, it's gonna be torture
for me for these 2 weeks.
No, for me, it's when you're
gone.
I'm
not even around that long. How dare you? How can I affect you that much?
Well, I guess I could see you anytime. Realistically,
you'll be seeing me every fucking week. Well, eventually,
we're
gonna miss like 3 weeks tops.
Yeah,
or 4 weeks tops. 3 weeks minimum.
Okay, I could do 4 weeks tops. I could do 4 weeks tops. I wasn't gonna say this, but I'm gonna say this. So Booby's like, because they talked about, he's like, where's Jay going? I said he's going to do surgery. This was this week.
I told Kay yesterday.
I think this was Wednesday, and he's like, this was when the
after the meeting.
This was after the meeting, and he's like, yeah, because Ali said we're losing Jay and whatever. So he's like, where's Jay going? And I told him, he's like, what, this just happened? I said, no, this was months ago. He booked this. He talked to Mo about it months ago. He's like, oh man, is he going to be okay? I'm like, yeah. Yeah, he's going to be fine. He's like, and then he comes back to me like a couple hours later. He's like, do you know where Jason lives? I'm like, no. He's like, do you see Jason? I'm like, yeah, I see him all the time. He's like, do you know where he lives? I'm like, yeah, I know where he lives. So he's like, are you sure? I'm like, yes. I'm like, yes, I know where he lives. He's like, where does he live? Where does he live? In Brampton? I said, no, Booby. He lives here in Milton. I don't know what goes through this guy's mind. Man.
He knows we do a podcast.
He's like, he
forgot already.
I swear he forgot. And then I had to draw a diagram of where I live, where Alvin lives, where you live. And I said, they live in this neighborhood, like, which is right over here. He's like, oh, okay. Because when he's off, I want to go see him. I said, okay. I'll talk to him and we'll go. He's like, no. Talk to him, please. We're going to go see him. Because, sometimes people go in surgery, they get a little depressed. They only see one person or two people and they don't see anybody.
Are you fucking kidding me?
We're going to go, maybe we bring him a cake. We do it.
Are you fucking kidding me?
I said, fine. We'll work that out when he goes off. We'll figure it out.
Holy, he's like, okay, please.
Please. Okay, booby.
Wow.
I said,
how,
you could meet his wife. You could meet his wife.
how
He's like-
considerate is this?
He's like, is she nice? I'm like, yeah. I'm like, she's the boss though. So he's like, oh, okay.
You hear that? See that, babe? I didn't fucking make him say that. Holy shit. I don't know why, like, that just made me feel fucking great. Like, he's weird. He's a weirdo.
so weird.
Like, I don't know, you know what I mean? But, like, it's really hard to be mad at somebody who thinks like that.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? Like, when you know he has those thoughts,
Yeah.
it gives him so much leeway for his retarded behavior.
12 o'clock in the morning when Jay's been gone for like 6 hours. That's what you're thinking about?
Yeah, you're right. It makes you want to think of really what's going on in his
Yeah.
head. Holy shit, man. I will never. Dude, that guy he's. I don't even want to say his intentions are always good. Like, he's just like, I forget. I could never put myself in his position.
Yeah.
Right? I can say, like, even with the fucking arranged marriage stuff and all that stuff, like, I don't know how anybody allows themselves to be like that. Right. But I also don't know the culture at all.
That's true.
I don't know anything about, I don't want to be that disrespectful about it. You can bring up, like, these girls are sometimes, that's how they're raised, to want to be presentable. It all seems so gross to me. I'm not saying I'm above it all. I'm not trying to disrespect the whole culture of it.
For sure.
But it just takes the individual out of it.
Yeah.
And I'd rather be more about the individual. When I take Booby as an individual, I just need him to be, like, more self-sufficient. You know what I mean? Like, I'm encouraged, you know what I mean? Like, by whenever I see him stand up for himself in a way. It's clunky, and it's like
Yeah.
it comes with like 9 out of 10 wrong things, but then you look at the right thing and you see the whatever the an outcome that you're happy for him about. Like, I do not begrudge him at all about being a fucking lead hand.
Yeah.
Right? It is not above me or not, you know what I mean? Like, I don't put myself in, he's got something that I don't, right? Like, he's just, you go, Booby. You know,
And he
you be
doesn't
the,
act like that.
I'm sorry to be putting, I'm not even going to put that. I've seen people leave yesterday that I assume got their reviews as well that aren't as accepting as I am in this fucking grade system.
Oh, really?
And felt a little fucking.
Names. Spill the names,
And
Jay.
they left. Why did Tariq leave at 4:30 yesterday?
Oh, yeah. He's probably pissed.
Why did he say to me, like, again, so also, he wants my number when I'm gone. You know what I mean? Like, he wants, I'm not going to give it to him. Like, I don't know why. Because I don't trust him fully.
Yeah.
If he asks again, then maybe I will, right? Like, maybe like or I'll fucking just create a WeChat fucking thing just to fucking just to talk to him
On
or
that,
WhatsApp or a WhatsApp thing just to fucking chat with him because like that's, you know what I mean? Like, I don't want to throw the baby out with the bathwater. Like,
Yeah.
I'm decent enough with him, and he might be my
He
boss
is a
one
nice
day.
guy.
Yeah, but I also be like fucking what like. I'm not giving you all my data. Like,
Yeah.
what if I give you my fucking phone number?
Yeah.
What are you really gonna do with my phone number, bro?
Yeah.
So I'm a little hesitant, like, you know what I mean, like with that. But so I've never talked money with him. I never talked this, but he made a comment to me, and I already had my review. So this is why I'm assuming he had his. He was just like, and I tried to tell him a little bit before all this that I'm going for this lead handish position or whatever. And I didn't want him to feel butthurt that I'm trying to get over something that he was trying to get at.
Yeah.
So I wanted to that was part of it, right? You would
sure.
just let it alone. But part of it was just like, hey, man, I don't want to fuck you over. Not because I'm scared of you, maybe, but not because I want to do this to you personally. Like, actually, personally, you hated hearing this. You deserve it because you're trying for it. I'm not trying for it. Like, I got to admit that. So he was like, yeah. He's like, yeah, you know how you move up in this company? You know what you got to do? Is you got to call Ali out for being a racist.
Yeah.
And because because what Booby did.
Yeah.
And that's the only way you get it.
Yeah.
You got to challenge this. And I'm like,
Marcel's made that comment too.
And so this is what he's like, yeah. It's like, so he's butthurt that Booby has his position.
Yeah, for sure.
Right. And I don't have, but I recognize that. And then when I see it and then he leaves at 4:30, this one day, it's like, no, he's fucking like, he's for this moment, he's not giving his all for the fucking company.
Yeah.
Right. And so I hate, like, again, like, why did I even bring that up? Oh, yeah. It was also, I actually meant to bring it up that just like Booby, like, he wants to have contact with me when I'm gone.
Yeah.
Like, we talk about his dad when he has his surgery and like making a leg lift machine and all these things. Like, he's looking at me telling, like, make sure you do your shit. Like, don't fucking.
But you know this.
Don't do it. No, I know. But he's not coming at me. Like, another version of this guy would be like, you're going to fuck up. You're going to fucking not do your exercises.
Well,
you're gonna
probably
come up
says
fat
that
like
in his
this guy.
head. He probably says that in his head. But like, Tariq is not a bad. How do I say this? Tariq is a good guy sometimes. Like he's
When
done
he's sleeping.
he's done nice things. You know what I mean? Like he's
Yeah, no, I agree with you.
yeah.
I try to look at that part too. I enjoy that part.
He's
of that.
just tainted himself that you just can't, you know.
Sometimes you can't take the troll out of a troll.
Yeah, and like I think it's harder because a lot of stuff, you know, stuff when people, it's like the NSA. You do so much in the shadows that like what you present to us is like you just can't trust. With Booby, on the other hand, there's no shadows with him. He's clumsy in the open.
Yeah.
He's honest in the open. He's caring in the open. He's all this stuff always in the open.
Yeah.
So that's probably why.
I admire that part about him.
Yeah, he's not the brightest guy,
But he's not
you know,
dishonest.
No.
He's fucked up. Like,
Oh,
again,
for
but
sure, for sure.
but you figure it out. You don't say, like, again, like, I'd rather deal with that.
Yeah.
And I think why he says these things, whatever, like he said, like, you know, like, whatever, wants to have contact when I'm gone, is because he knows I'm not perfect. All he cares about is you're either against him or for him.
Yeah.
And he's with you, like, it's team night shift and day shift. But, like, because I'm not purely team day shift,
Yeah.
then I get this generous, thoughtful, you know what I mean, like, position from him. It doesn't mean anything, like I said, but it'd be really wrong of me to not recognize that good quality. Not because he thinks of me, but that he does that for most people, I would imagine. Like
Some people, yeah.
Like, but as long as you don't show him the other.
Yeah, exactly.
Right? Like, yeah, sometimes, are we going to go all the way back to when I took those wheels and his little stool? Like, he didn't like me then.
No.
Right? Like, he thought I did something to purposely fuck him over, but I didn't need to explain myself with that. I already had people around with you or whatever. You interviewed, just like going back, like, what makes you think that he doesn't get to use those for moving shit around, and you get to use it for a stool that you get to sit on?
And that's where the not bright part comes in.
And so he takes that in, and it's just like, no, but eventually he looks at it now. If you tell that situation to him now, he'd be like, yeah, go ahead, take the wheels.
Yeah.
I'm just guessing. And so
I
appreciate
that's exactly
that.
how he is. Yeah, so I think
But you've made him that person. You've helped him be this person.
Have I told you that our therapists have talked about Booby? Did I tell you this? I don't even know if I should talk about this on here.
Holy fuck.
No, I'll tell you after. I know everybody's gonna be.
Man,
I'll tell you one day, maybe at work or something.
Okay, the last thing I want to say, because again, where I hope this could all come together is, I don't want to bring him to my house. No, I'm joking.
We're coming, Jay.
No.
We're coming. I'm telling you.
I can't do anything to stop you.
I won't let you do it. I won't let him do it alone. But I'll be coming with him.
We have him do the show.
Oh no! Right. At your house?
No, here we can't bring the whole studio over. Like if
but
we have to have you come over,
meet your wife.
I'll have her come
he wants
pick
to
me
meet
up.
the boss.
I'll have her come and pick me up. When you have the fucking situation, okay, I'm not gonna. But what I do need to know about him, and again, because the boss has asked this a couple times about this, and sorry, because what I was trying to get at is why I'm going to keep putting his name out and his bullshit out there, is because I do fully expect him to be here one day and defend. He might have to come for more than one show to defend all the shit that we do talk about him on.
Yeah.
Is that just like you, I feel that he might get so frustrated with shit that he'll leave.
No, he won't.
But you told me that he actually he went for an interview somewhere.
Yeah.
Like he went somewhere that had a couple more dollars. Like he was so frustrated with a thing. Again, this is not our business, but it's our people. Hey, how are you doing out there? It's our business, and the boss wants to know. Is that you told me that he went somewhere, and I was like, "That's a bad." I said to you when you told me that's a bad decision.
Yeah.
Because he's never going to get put into this leadership position by anybody else.
Yeah.
Because of you. And you recognize that. I said that to you, not saying that you're not good enough to get another leadership somewhere else, but recognize the situation you're in.
Absolutely.
And I think you gave that some thought, and you gave it to him. You say
I did.
You kind of recycled the same advice.
Absolutely.
And so did he take that advice? Like, so did
Yep.
he's not thinking that way anymore?
He's not thinking that way anymore. He's on board with the thing.
Good.
I think Booby's very easy to figure out.
Yeah.
And I don't know if it's a cultural thing, but his number one thing, you can easily deal with Booby if respect. I give Booby shit on a regular basis. Like I tell him shit he does is stupid. I say you shouldn't do this kind of stuff. I say this is ridiculous. Like, what do you think? I don't even let him finish his sentences. You know what I mean? Like I really lay into him sometimes. but he knows that I'm not doing it in a disrespect. I'm not being disrespectful. I'm telling him these things because it's respect. And if you treat Booby with respect, you can just basically have a great relationship with him, because that's like really on the top of his. I don't know if it's short man syndrome or anything. Like respect is like that's the only thing he really needs. I don't even think he'll eat. You can give him respect instead of food, and he'll be good to go.
As you were beginning that sentence, respect was the word that came into my head.
Yeah,
like this is what you're gonna say. I knew that. Like, I do think like whatever. I don't know if it's right or wrong. Like, it has to be some kind of cultural thing.
Yeah.
Right? Like, it's respect in the way like other guys would rather be a cop instead of a welder, because it's respectful in the community of his wife's family type of thing.
They're really raised on status, right?
Status, that's what I meant. Sorry, that's the status. So as where respect and status kind of meet, that's where you have to treat him like that. Like, I'm the same way. I don't talk to Booby like that, but I've shown him respect in a bunch of different ways. And so it's not like I have to keep doing it. Like, it's already, it's been there. Yeah. It's not like the whole taking the wheels thing and all that's lost in the respect that I've shown him in a way. It's also easy to do because it doesn't affect me whatsoever. Like, he comes to me, I get, it's, you know why? It's because he's, for me personally, I don't know what he does with other people. Other people, I can see examples where he's not giving them respect, and they whatever, they can cite that example and I'll believe him. But he's always given it to me. Taking the wheel example, like, that's not there. But I'm smart enough to just ignore that. Do what the right thing is for the company, like why I'm working or what we're doing there. But like this whole thing, I don't like. He's good at his job. Like, he must sense that from me. Yeah. He doesn't get that I'm saying something different behind his back. We are so tight. Like, he's forgotten we already had a podcast. I have the fact that we're close, that you respect me, so he must respect me. Yeah. Like, it's, you know what I mean? I get that in comparison. But even if somebody had to take my weld, like, they were just waiting for me to go before we got all these new great welders machines, that we would be like, hey, like, are you going at 6? Or are you staying till 6:30 because Brian's going to keep you here long? Are you going to let the boss be angry because she has to have dinner late because you're staying late too long? And so I'd be like, have to say it. And he'd be like, okay. Because he just wants to tell somebody else. That's a good leadership part of him. Like, we'll grab this machine when he's gone, but you can't take it before, and make sure you bring it back. Yeah. All the way to enough that the people are like, God, if I touch that guy's stuff, I have to bring it back. Right. And then that's I'll take the blame of that. Some people be like, oh, this guy's so precious, we got to take it back. But it's because his bosses inherited him. Like, no, like, if you take it, bring it back. That's just the way we go. That's what we do here. And if you're just Johnny and you're just whining all the time, or somebody else is just like, yeah, this guy's not giving me the respect, I don't care how you bring the guy's machine back. Yeah. So I felt that from him, and I do like that about him. And his heart is good. It is. Like, he's not. You would want to say that he's not smart enough to be devious, but that's disrespectful.
I mean,
that's what I'm saying. You want to say that.
Yes.
And maybe he's not as smart as Tariq, who is smart enough to be devious and does. So, but I also say, no, like, if you want to be, it doesn't take a genius to be fucking bad. Like, if you wanted to do that, and he doesn't have that. Like, the status part, the respect part, we can say you hang your hat on some of that stuff too much. But I appreciate that, but I'll fucking not appreciate it if you bring him over to. No, I don't care. It is what it is.
We'll work it out. We're going to talk about it.
That's fucking hilarious. So in the meantime, we will be missing next. I'm not going to put all the blame on me and my fucking ailing body on why we're going to be missing stuff. Next week, you're going back up to Deerhurst?
Deerhurst, yes.
So this is, for sure you did it last year. How many years in a row have you done this?
Second year in a row.
Okay, that's it. Yeah. No times before did you guys do it there?
No.
And you picked this resort out of thin air.
Out of thin air. It's funny because the first time I went, I just didn't expect people to know where this place was or what it place was. But every time, the first time, like, I would mention it to someone like Sean, Dave, Tim. Like, I just mentioned, they asked, like, where you're going on vacation. I would tell them, like, oh yeah, like, they know Deerhurst. I'm like, how do people know freaking Timbuktu Hurst over
These are
there?
all guys that have cottages and trailers up north.
Yeah. So they must know, like, what this place is, right? And so they say they say it's expensive, but I didn't know until I went there how expensive it is, because it is a little overpriced, I would say. I don't know about overpriced, because last time we didn't get to do everything that we wanted to, that they offered there. So this time, hopefully the weather is better that we will be able to. But yeah, it's like a little.
Is that part of why you're going? Because you didn't fully get to experience everything?
That is definitely part of it.
Part of it must be because you had such a good time and there's still so much like
The food was great. That's why.
So yeah, you want to do some of the same things you did before,
Yeah.
and experience some of the other things you didn't do.
Yeah.
The videos from that, like it looked great. I don't even remember because I wasn't there. I just remember the good time. I didn't know that the weather wasn't like had a couple of hiccups.
Yeah, the weather was not the greatest.
I remember the fucking the soccer simulators and
Yeah.
all. Like I remember like how the kids having a great
That's
time.
why we were inside because the weather was shit.
Now, as I say it, it makes no sense. You know, it's a buzz. That's weird because I don't take a lot of pictures and do all these things. Is just to see the difference in the kids' physicalness.
Oh, yeah.
Like a year later in the same place.
Yeah.
Right. Like just every now, like I've seen Kai every week for the past few weeks, and it's like, fuck, that kid's hair is fucking long now.
Yeah,
like you
you
know what I
said
mean. It's
that
not like it
today.
was
It's
just
like-
long yesterday or
Yeah.
today. It's just like sometimes you just forget.
Yeah.
When you see Cyrus, his little growth bursts are happening, you know what I mean? Like right for your eyes. But you have to like fuck, I think this kid's like a fucking half a foot taller than he was yesterday.
Right.
And so to see the, you know, whatever. So that must be a buzz to see your older,
It is.
your kids getting older.
I
in
can't
front
wait
of
to
you.
compare the pictures from last year. So Selena sent me a picture of a video of Kai doing drills like for the first time.
Wow.
And his hair was like there's no dreads.
Yeah.
So I can't even imagine that right now. Right?
Yeah,
So,
I
like,
can
you know
picture
what I
that.
mean? And like he's like clumsy and like he's like doing all these like I don't know. And I was just like looking at him like, what the hell? Like no wonder we had to start doing this shit.
Who's this kid?
Right? And then
That's a buzz.
you see him now, and like which you guys might see tomorrow, that how he plays soccer and like how he like he's not the most coordinated, but he's pretty decent. It's like wow, like these kids are growing up fast as shit.
You know what? I really can't wait. So I don't know. It'll be a fucking act of your God that stops us from fucking like going.
Nice.
You have to like we're fully on board. Tammy's canceled other things that were supposed to come up. Like a friend of her has to go like shopping for a dress for a wedding next week, right? And I was like,
That's not important.
and I was like, well, no, I go, well, to her, yeah. She's only not going because she doesn't have enough money to buy her own stuff. And I respect, you know what I mean? But I was just like, you know what? Like, the boys will be like excited if you come.
Oh, yeah.
But like, if you want to go do this, then they're not going to know that you chose dress shopping over going to see them.
Yeah.
And she said, no, I said it. I want to go, right? So it's fully on.
Nice.
Like, we're not, you know what will pass faster than I think it will, and it's weird. Like getting up early, I have to come up early to hear everything you make me do is fucking annoying.
Turning into an early bird.
That last year they were on the same team.
Yeah.
Like I do think it's I feel for you in a way that you have to, and the kids. Like Sarah has to do nothing for the first hour while his brother plays, and then Kai has to do nothing for the second
Opposite.
hour while his brother plays.
But yes.
Yeah, opposite. But but I see what you're saying about Kai, like, because you know what it is in a way. Like, I hope I put this out in the way, but Cyrus' soccer ability right from the jump has been like undeniable.
Yeah.
Like, I see the little baby in him
Yeah.
when he gets excited. You know what I mean? And the ball goes crazy. Like, it's hard for me to see a world where he can contain that energy. You know what I mean? You
Yeah.
probably see it now and then,
Yeah,
but that
he's a-
energy is. Kai is a little bit more methodical, a little bit more thoughtful.
Yep.
Right.
Very calm. Very.
And you see it, but when he's on the soccer field, you see that get away from him.
Yeah.
You see him like not, you know what I mean? Like see the excitement like overwhelm him.
Yeah. You
right?
can't handle it.
Yeah, and then it handles this away. But the way you're kind of saying it now is just like he's reined it in a little bit.
Yeah,
he's
getting
controlled
there.
it a fraction or something.
It is growing him.
That's amazing.
That's one thing. Like even if they like what I've been battling of taking them out or putting them in,
Great.
like it is growing them mentally and stuff. Like they are figuring stuff out, and it's just weird to see the differences that they're figuring. Like Kai is really figuring out like himself, confidence. He's getting more
Nice.
confident, right? You know
That's
what I
good to
mean?
hear, man.
He's understanding like where he is, like when he sees himself on the field, he understands his level on the field. If he's whether the best or he's not the best,
Interesting.
wherever it is, he understands it.
That's important.
right? It's really good, and so he's like, he's really getting that confidence, understanding who he is, like as a player. I don't know about so much as a person, but as a player, it's gonna be entangled, right? But he's really understanding, and Sire is just more Well, he already thinks he's the best, so that's a problem. And
Where do we get that from?
But he's understanding a lot about like the actual like. It's crazy because Kai is understanding so much about like just the bigger, probably because he's older, like the bigger picture
Has
of
to be,
it.
yeah.
Sire is contained with the feel. Like you watch him play and he understands spacing, where you need to go in the space, all these kind of different things that Kai's not really thinking about at that
Interesting.
point. It's crazy. You'll probably see it tomorrow. Sire's
so.
been kind of sick, so I don't know if he's gonna perform, but I don't know. That
You'll
kid,
have to make excuses for the
that
boys.
kid when he turns on, he's good.
You hyped him up for 8 goals a game for the whole fucking the past 3 weeks. So if it doesn't happen,
they've never gone a week without scoring a goal except for Kai, which was on his first week, and they've never gone without scoring.
I got to tell you, my reasoning for going. Let's just like try to break it down. I think most of it, like part of it is, I'm not trying to, I don't know what I'm trying to sound like here, but well, I'm not trying to sound like anything, but I don't know what this is going to sound like. Less of it is for me to see them play.
You don't want to see them play?
No, like a third of it. Third of it is for me to watch what
Yeah.
you just said and see that. Maybe I'm not recognizing it. Most of it is for them to see me see them play.
Oh yeah.
Like you
That's
know what I mean?
a
Like
big
it's
thing.
not for it's not when he's in the TFC and I get free tickets. It's not for any of that. Like I want him to know that I know he's on the, he's doing this now.
Yeah.
He's not going to recognize that Tammy's not dress shopping instead of watching him.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It'll just be an overall thing. Oh yeah, once a year they came, twice a year they came, whatever it is. Like, oh, you've been seeing me play soccer since I was 6.
Yeah.
As he's going on the field for the TFC.
Yeah.
Like it's not like I want to do that for him. You know what I mean? Like to show out like that.
Yeah, that's
I want to feel
great.
good about that because I think of him like that. But it's once they're never going to listen to this. They're going to fucking they're never going to know until I do it.
Yeah.
So I want to see it for myself, but part of it is to show up for them, right? Like it's to let them know that people care that they're doing this.
Yeah, that's
That I'm
great.
talking their dad out of stopping them from taking them out of soccer. I'm the only reason that they got to keep playing. I am about to send you something that I found out for the first time this year. Okay,
Yeah.
like I'm not trying to derail the podcast. I'm not even going to send you the whole show, the whole fucking, the whole thing of it. I don't even know how to send a short. How the fuck can I send a short? Shit.
On where?
On YouTube.
There's a share button, I'm pretty sure, and you copy link.
Oh man. Oh yeah. Wait. Oh yeah. Share. Okay. So I was watching The Amazing Race yesterday. I'm going to send this by Telegram.
Yeah.
And I think I found out what the boys should do.
Oh shit.
Right? Like if you want to take them out of soccer, that's fine too. But they could probably do both.
Dun.
But this is a real sport that is going to be is people are trying to fucking put this in the Olympics. Okay,
This-
so without the fucking dead air of trying to be on there,
Yeah.
while you look at it, this is professional hobby horsing.
What?
Do you know what a hobby horse is? It's like a fake horse. That's a horse head that's on a stick.
What the hell? Holy shit! How high is that?
Okay, that's one of the best doing it. You can go down a route. Okay, so go look at the rest of your YouTube feed right now. This is fucking huge in Finland. This is a thing that lots of people do. People fucking, instead of doing equestrian on real horses, there are people that do equestrian events on a hobby horse, which is a horse on a broomstick. Like, I had a horse that was on like fucking springs and fucking doing this. So,
Yeah.
do you think the boys would do good at this?
I think Kai would. He's a freaking high jumper.
Well, so I'm just showing you a short. Like I said, I know you don't have the attention
No, I'm
span for
looking
10
at a
minutes.
different one.
Yeah, so it's out there, bro. Can you believe this is a real thing?
What the hell?
So I saw this on Amazing Race. We're looking at it. I can't believe this is a real
Wait, they
thing.
did it on the racing race?
Yes. So you've watched The Amazing Race before? So they're running around the country or whatever, like the world, the country. Yep, that's real. People want that in the Olympics.
That can't go in the Olympics, Jay.
I don't know how close it might be to being in the Olympics, bro.
That cannot go in the... We already have a high jump, but damn.
yeah,
That's
we already
high,
have horse
though.
racing.
I can't fucking jump that. I can't jump that on a freaking
That's
stick.
fine. That's the best of the best.
I can tell. Holy shit.
Yeah, but okay, so look at like maybe there's bad hobby horsing videos out there. You're losing the point. You're fucking...
I'm sorry, but this is a freaking... this shit's taller than her.
Yes, it is. But they're not
fuck?
on a real horse.
They're on their own legs.
Isn't it a little creepy?
No, Jay, she's fucking jumping like 8 feet. Well, like 6.
So why isn't she just doing high jump? The fact she has a fucking a stuffed horse in her fucking between her legs is kind of concerning to me. Okay, so you would put the boys in this. You would let your kids be videotaped doing this.
The question was, could the boys do this?
Okay, could.
And I
could
said,
you do
Kai
this?
could do this.
Yeah, I could do this. Not very well, but Kai could do this too. Okay.
Kai could do.
I am very surprised at your fucking acceptance of this. I wanted to send this
I
to you
am not
yesterday.
accepting this because I will not put the boys in this. But they definitely have the ability to do whatever that they
Sure,
want.
if a little Finnish girl can jump 5 feet on her fake horse, then your boys can do it too. I know that. I'm not trying to downplay their physical abilities. I was just trying how fucking crazy does
Jay,
that
this
seem?
isn't an arena. There's people in the stands.
Yes. Well, by the time it gets into a conversation of being in the Olympics, you and I have more respect for breakdancing, right? Should breakdancing be the Olympics?
Yes.
See, I'll be fine with that. I don't care. Breakdancing's crazy.
I know.
Because I was fucking, before you were born, I was spinning on my back on the fucking cardboard. All right? I had my fucking
Did you actually
windbreaker
try
outfit.
breakdancing?
Of course I did. I was there with the fucking, how dare you? I
sorry,
was there
I
from the
don't know.
beginning. What else would I do as a fucking 9 or 10-year-old kid? Everybody's trying to breakdance.
This.
If I knew, if I only knew.
Would you have tried this?
No.
Are
That's
you
so
sure?
gay. Like, that's so, like, I can't, like, they look so, I mean, who am I to judge?
Jay, I'm posting this on our Twitter right now.
Yeah, go ahead. I was going to do that. Why are you putting that? Oh, are you?
Yeah.
Saying this is what we thought. So I'm not allowed to bring, so I thought we had to do it later.
No.
Okay, is this going to be part of our new, when we come back, we're going to try to put a couple of extra segments in there. We're going to, not talk about rap beefs, but we're going to put our musical experiences. We're going to see. We're going to show each other like songs. Maybe we're going to try to. But the first one back anyway. We're going to try to do that. I got some list of songs I think I wanted you to listen to, and you got a whole range of them too. And then so we were going to have to put those out on Twitter.
I have one I really want. The first one I really want to make you listen to is I think it's I don't know.
Okay,
no comments.
I go back and forth so. I'm going to try not to overthink these things.
Yeah.
Because some of them I want them to have this great political message, maybe, or whatever, some shit that I missed before.
Could be anything.
But some of them just could be good rocking out tunes that I just don't think. So I'm not trying to be too precious
remember,
about it.
remember, I'm a musician.
So I heard a song on my way here today that I've heard for my whole that I had of the album. So the songs that I've actually put on this list that we're going to do like eventually are songs that I've heard like since I've been like fucking 10 years old.
Are you going to spoil some of the bands
No.
or groups for me?
No.
Or people?
For some reason, I said Rage Against the Machine before.
Love them.
But I'm going to go off of them because I think you might know them a little bit more. I have a couple of Black Sabbath songs in my head.
I know Black Sabbath.
I know you know of them, but how many songs do you think you know of them?
I probably know maybe 2.
Yeah.
That was remember I told you the guy played guitar and like stuff? That was one of his favorite bands.
Yeah, so
But he never played them for me that much, so.
But there's some songs that are kind of hard to ignore.
Good for it. Let's go.
One, I think AC/DC would be songs you've probably heard of more than
For sure.
Black Sabbath.
Probably,
but
yeah.
Some of those I would try to revisit. I'd be surprised. So this one, I don't know. See, part of me be like, this is again. I don't want to try to defend all of these bands or songs.
You don't
right?
need
Like,
to.
like some of them are just like that. So do you know who the band Meatloaf or the artist singer Meatloaf is?
Yes.
Have you heard any of his songs?
Can't remember.
Okay. So like that's again not seminal, but I remember listening to this shit like again since 10 years old and
Like
stuff.
religiously?
No, not religious, but over time. One of the songs is like let's see, like how do I put this? I don't want to go anymore. One song is just such a classic anthem to my era, right? And like a little bit before, something like Black, it's all a little bit before me, right? But you kind of hear it like whatever. That I remember belting out this songs like multiple times at weddings,
Seriously?
like singing the whole fucking back and forth duet parts. Like some of these are so ingrained that part of me is I hold, you know what I mean? Like the time and place, you know what I mean? Like I hold them in a certain way. But this is what I'm saying. I can't get that precious about it. I gotta, you know what I mean? Like I have to be willing for you to be mocking of some of these, right? And not take it like in personal. It's like, oh, I like this song since I'm 10. How dare you? But I need to hear a fresh perspective.
Yeah.
Or I guess I think part of it is, and you must agree with this, you're going to give me songs that you're going to want confirmation and validation on why it's a banger.
Yes.
Right? If you give me a song that you hold dear, that I mock, you're going to want to defend it. Or you'd be like, fuck. Can you imagine? Like, yeah, I didn't really.
Or you're just gonna ruin the song for me,
yeah,
Jay.
part of it is that. Like part of it is like I feel that you can ruin way more songs for me than I can ruin for you.
I'm not ruining anything for you.
Well, you're a precious artist. You like that or whatever. So yeah, that's one thing. So, but before we get off of, I meant to talk about this before we got to the boys' new sport of hobby horsing.
Oh God. I mean, Kai could do it. He could do it.
Don't make Kai do this. Do you have enough alcohol to go up north with?
We just got our LCBO order.
How fucking nice was that? Delivered
I don't know.
to the door.
It's only 3 bottles, so it took too long. It was only 3 bottles.
Did it take over 5 days?
Yes,
no.
it took 6.
So did you have to put another order in?
We ordered ours, and then we ordered Selena's mom's, right?
Yeah.
And Selena's mom's came first. And I'm like, what the fuck?
It's probably because yours were so hoity-toity.
No,
you
it
need
was
that
only
extra special.
1,800.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
How dare? Why are you buying that shit?
Right? Because you can't buy
Why are
the
you
other
buying
shit.
that shit for your fucking vacation, bro?
Because we have bottles here.
1,800?
Yeah.
Come on, you're better than that.
So you know what we learned? Jose Cuervo and 1,800 is the exact same company.
Okay, I
They
believe you.
say this lady told us. I don't know how much I
That makes
believe
sense.
her. I don't know how much I believe her.
Okay, yeah, I get you.
Because I was already off put if someone's trying to educate us about tequila. Like, bitch, like relax, relax. when you tell us that your go-to is 1,800 because you know it's a little higher quality than Jose Cuervo, we're not in the same conversation. We're not in the same. Those are all the same. Okay. All the same.
Okay, I
But
respect. That's hilarious.
That's
man.
what she said. So,
I believe it because some places are like that. Like they bottle more than one. They label. How do they call it? They there's a term for it.
Yeah,
like off label.
Yeah, some shit like that. I don't know, but she was not having. She was having the wrong conversation with the
I
wrong
hear you,
people.
man. That's
like this. No.
so, but that doesn't stop me from questioning you buying 1,800.
Oh no, we just bought it because we know we're gonna go through that in like freaking a night.
Yeah, I don't expect you to buy Grand Mayan. I don't get it, but
No.
you are on vacation.
No.
You know what I mean? I did expect at least a Don Julio or something.
We'll probably bring a Don Julio. I want to buy the. I honestly, I'm really liking that clear anejo one. That's the one with the crystal one.
Which one?
The Don Julio one.
Oh,
That's
yeah,
clear.
yeah. The clear and the, yeah, okay, yeah.
I'm really liking that for some. Not like the one that you brought from the States that we tried.
Yeah,
is
I still have
not
that.
as good as that one.
Okay.
They're both clear anejos,
Yeah,
right?
yeah. I'm not that crazy about. I wouldn't buy that one from the States again.
But that Don Julio one is
Yeah.
miles better.
I remember that one. Yeah, it's hey man, you have my attention anytime you fucking said the Don Julio part.
Oh yeah, they make good.
So
ones,
are you?
man.
Do you have to? Did you make another order, or are you just going to go with what you got?
We're just gonna go with what we got. We're gonna finish the gin this week on our sober weekend this week.
Contradiction.
Because we
What?
got gin, tequila, and oh shit, no, yeah. What else did we get? Oh, rum. One of our favorite rums is plantation
I
rum.
got a headache fucking listening to that fucking mix of alcohol.
Oh man, I know we're so
Rum,
bad.
tequila, and what else?
And it's funny. And
mixed gin. Jesus,
it's funny
bro.
because we usually drink all 3 of those on a weekend. We mix alcohol. It's bad.
But again, before I go, I didn't mean to make this last thing or whatever. Are you still going golfing?
I don't know.
Aw.
Like I want to try, but okay. An 18 course private golf course is a little intimidating. You know what I mean?
Okay, I
It's
hear
like-
that. I see
and
that.
When we went last time, like they have like a whole thing, like part of their whole thing is like they have like a golf shop, like golf carts all over the place, like all these people walking around with shit. And I'm like, it's like a little.
You gotta get over that.
I don't know.
You don't
if
have
I
to do
will.
anything, but the way you talked about it before, you were open to it. That's
Yeah.
always going to happen. I can get intimidated to going to a course like that.
Yeah.
And I've golfed for fucking years.
Yeah.
It's because I only go like once a year, twice a year. You're going to be seeing people that do this so naturally. You're going to be seeing little Asian women or fucking old ladies
Fuck,
that are
man.
fucking just so much better at this than you could be. But the thing that is that once you try it and you're going to be going with your father-in-law. This is why you just ignore that. Get a couple shots in you. Like, I hope he's the type of, I'm not trying to discount him in any type of way, but I hope he has the type of, he's the type of person that can make you get over that.
Well, he's a retired
'cause he likes
principal.
this.
He's a retired principal.
So he's got this all in there, and you respect. You know what I mean? Like you think of him in a great way. I know that.
Nice guy.
And,
He drinks.
and that's what you do on a golf course. That's all you do on a golf course.
Yeah, the
You have to
golf
stop
shop-
yourself from drinking too much.
The golf shop did have a lot of alcohol in there.
Bro, it's all. Why would I like this so? Do you
That's
think I like
true.
this so much because I like to get dressed up in funny clothes? You think I like this because I want to walk in a park?
Yeah.
It's because you smoke joints and drink beer. Like, you can't believe the things you hear and see on a golf course. It's so much, like, it's just more different than, it's everything that you think it is, and it's not. It's so much more, it brings people to your common man level. Like, you're not just a common man, but you know what I mean? You'd be surprised.
Well, when it comes to the golfing, I am.
That's what I mean. So you will see your father-in-law in a little different, like, light. He'll be exactly who he is, but everything. But I would imagine that if he wants to introduce this to you, it's this principal part in him. It's like, you don't need to be a golfer, but you're at a championship course. You go there and they know if it's your first time, they're not going to be, nobody around you or anybody, any groups in front, behind, anywhere in that vicinity is going to think that's a detriment. They're going to be like, oh, fuck, I can't believe it's your first time.
Another one.
I hope you love it.
True.
You're going to get all the benefit of the doubt.
I'm 100% going to put effort into doing it.
I hope
so much so that I'm going to tell him beforehand if we could go golfing.
Yes, please.
I don't
know why I wanted this so much
beforehand, but like,
because he's better for this than I would be for just dragging you out on one of my
tournaments. He's not that good?
I'm not that good. That's not you. You're missing the point already.
Yeah, see, that's my problem.
You're missing the point already.
That's my problem.
You'll see how fucking shit everybody is.
I don't know, man. If you can hit the ball, you're good. I told you I had a bad experience when I was young.
So long ago.
And I went to the driving range and I couldn't hit the ball, and I was so pissed. I was with all my hockey friends and they're all going, yeah, they're hitting the ball like freaking, we were young, 50, 75 and shit. I'm like doing 3.
So what happens if you went to fucking the drum range and you started fucking smashing the drums to shit and they were just like, it's the same thing?
I'd be like, bro, let me show you.
Yeah. But you would like to mock them a little bit.
Of course.
Yeah, but then you go. But then nobody gives a fuck about drums. Way less than more people don't even give a fuck about golfing. The thing is, you're a hypocrite if you're making your kids go hobby horsing and you're not willing to fucking go golfing. I either want to hear stories about you hobby horsing in the Muskokas or fucking golfing in the Muskokas.
I'm going to put an effort in.
You don't even have to put video.
I think I'll chicken
just want a little fucking screenshot of you standing there ready to hit a ball.
How about like the putting greens? How about like,
go ahead. If you want to just fucking limit yourself to the putting greens,
I'm scared to freaking.
That's fine.
How long is one?
It could be up to. It depends. Like I don't know how many different courses you go, but they have the 18-hole championship course. That's going to be like a whole afternoon. That's like 5 hours.
Fuck, man.
Like, it's a long time. But maybe they have the smaller course. Maybe they have a pitch and putt.
Half of it.
Yeah, I don't know. Talk to your principal. It's like fucking insured. Like 9 holes, they're perfect. I'm too broken to fucking get a fucking whole 18-hole course in, which is also why I got to go. Yeah. Because I have a Zoom meeting with my pre-op fucking appointment. Yeah.
And this is the guy who had a hip surgery, so you can at least be golfing.
Well, I'll first be seeing if I can come back to work.
You're coming back to work.
See if I can fucking come back and maybe take your job.
Robots are taking welding jobs, and you're going to be the first one at our company.
That's a good way to put it, eh? Fucking nice. I hope I get a smart hip, not just a fucking dumb old fucking analog hip.
Well, I want to thank everyone for listening to the work-related podcast that's going on hiatus for a little bit.
Yeah, I appreciate that. We really do appreciate everybody. It'll be like at least 3 weeks, but just like work and everything else, hopefully you come back better than ever. We already got some kind of new ideas, not to freshen it up, but we're just thinking of it. We're not taking this for granted for sure.
Yeah.
Learn not to take my health for granted, take our fucking decent stuff at work for granted. We do not take you guys for granted. Nope. And we'll see you guys in a bit. Enjoy your summer.